don't know your names, don't know your faces, don't know if you're still alive, or what city, what country, what version of a life you went back to after you left mine. I was a few minutes old when you decided that a few minutes was enough time with me. I wanna ask you what you saw in those few minutes that made the decision easy. Was it easy? I need to know if it was easy. Did you look at me, or did you not look? 'Cause looking would've made it harder, and you needed it to not be hard. I understand that. I'm trying to understand that. I'm not sure I understand that. You weren't there the first time I cried, in a room full of kids who weren't mine, staring at a ceiling that wasn't mine, in a bed that wasn't mine. Nothing was ever mine. That's what growing up like that does. It teaches you that nothing stays, that everything is temporary, including you. You taught me that first before anyone else got the chance. You weren't there when I was sick, when the social worker wrote in the file and nobody came. You weren't there for the first day of school, or the last, or any day in between. You weren't there when I was hungry, and hungry isn't a metaphor. I mean actually hungry, actually counting hours, actually wondering if today was the day something changed. It never changed. I left at 12 because a doorway on a cold street felt more honest than a system that kept losing me. At least the cold was real, at least the hunger was mine, at least the dark was something I chose. You weren't there for that either, the first night on the street when I lay awake because the ground was hard. And I thought, does anyone know I'm here? Does anyone know I exist? Not in a file, not as a case number, but actually does anyone know? The answer was no. For a long time, the answer was no. I wanna ask you why, not to hurt you, not anymore. I used to want it to hurt. I used to write this letter in my head with teeth in it. Now I just wanna know, was it fear? Was it too young, too broke, too lost? Was it something you carried the way I carried things? Was it a decision made in a corridor that you thought about after, or didn't think about, or thought about every day? I don't know which is worse, the forgetting or the remembering and choosing anyway. I'm not going to tell you I'm fine, 'cause I spent too many years telling too many people I was fine when I wasn't. That's done. I'm gonna tell you this instead. I found two brothers on a street corner when I had nothing and they became everything. I fell in love with a woman who looked at me like I was worth looking at. Before I believed in myself, I have 4 sons who call my name like it means something, because it does. To them it does. I built a life from the nothing you left me, and it's a good life, it's a really good life. I need you to know that, not for you, for me. I need to say it out loud to the people whose absence shaped everything. I'm okay, I'm more than okay, and I got there without you, and that's both the saddest thing and the truest thing I know about myself. But I wanna say one more thing before I close this letter that I'll probably never send to an address I don't have. There are nights still, even now, with everything I have, when I'm very quiet and the kids are asleep and Leah's beside me and the house is full and I am full, and something still asks in a voice that sounds like 12. Why weren't you there? Just that, just why weren't you there? I don't have an answer, you do, I just never gotta hear it. I don't have an answer, you do, I just never gotta hear it.